Hi Paula, I'm Stephanie. Welcome to my kitchen, and today I'm going to make Santa Fe Chicken Supreme. This is based on a recipe that I learned about when I went out to Santa Fe years ago, and I love it because you can do everything ahead of time and then whip it out and bring it out for a dinner party, and there's plenty of time to relax and enjoy your guests. First thing I'm going to do is make a chipotle and adobo cream sauce. First step is to saute some mushrooms, which I've just started doing. And then I'm going to add the adobo and chipotle. It's in a can, and you chop up. They're really just smoked jalapenos, so you chop them up. I added a little bit of the sauce. So while that's browning, I'm going to come over and make my stuffing, which can be done ahead of time as well. And I've got a quarter cup of Philadelphia cream cheese. I've got some chopped hatch or jalapeno chilies in a can, and I've got a quarter cup of shredded Monterey Jack cheese. Then I'm going to add some toasted almonds, got about a quarter cup, and some chopped sun-dried tomatoes, again about a quarter cup. These tomatoes I had in oil, but you can also just get the dried tomatoes and reconstitute them with water. I prefer these. I love these in oil. They're wonderful. I use them on everything. So you mix that up, make a nice kind of a gooey looking stuffing. And then I always add a little pinch of chopped cilantro. So I've got a little bit here. I always chop it with my mezzaluna because I always cut my fingers if I don't. So I have that handy. I'll put chopped cilantro on the top of the dish when it first comes out, so you'll see how that fits in. So we get our stuffing, very simple. And then let me check on the mushrooms. I'm going to turn them down a bit. They're looking good, they're sizzling. I want to get them nice and brown. I like the color. And what I'll do is I flattened chicken breast. So I took flattened chicken breast and going to put them in my pan. And I just use a little bit of water around the edge just to help secure them. Then just take a spoonful of the stuffing. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I like the stuffing, so you want to get it kind of ample. Then fold them over, and you just make these little bundles. Great, perfect, that's what I wanted. And you just kind of take care to make them look, just make them look as pretty as you can, but they really don't have to be perfect. Then I'm going to take them over here, and I first take the bundle and roll it in. First of all, let me move this. Put it in a flour. Then I dip it in the egg wash. So I've got 2 beaten eggs. And then I roll it in the seasoned breadcrumbs. And then I'm just going to let that sit and rest. I'm going to wash my hands. Okay, so now we've got to cook our bundles. Again, the mushrooms are looking perfect, just what I want. See how they get brown on the edges? I want them that nice kind of golden tan, brown color. I don't want them to just be boring white mushrooms. I'm going to turn that down. And put a little olive oil, while my olive oil is heating up, tell you how we're going to put it together. We're going to cook the bundles, just saute them lightly, but I want them brown. I want them brown kind of all around. And then I'm going to put them in a baking tray and put them in the oven, finish up the sauce, and then at the end, to finish up the dish, I put the bundles with the sauce on and rice, and you'll see, and it looks beautiful. But let's get these cooking. I always use tongs. I use tongs for everything. I love them. So put that in. And again, you see how they're kind of fat, they hold together. They're not perfect at all, but as long as you don't pound the breast too thin, and you don't get holes, the stuffing should keep. So I'm going to turn off the mushrooms right now while that's browning. I'm going to go ahead and add the chipotle and adobo very quickly. Turned it off, but there's still some heat. And then I'm going to add the heavy cream. And watch, it just starts turning a gorgeous color. Just kind of a soft, almost a salmon-colored pink. And I'm going to put that on low. Being careful not to curdle it, not get it too hot. Okay, so let's go back to my bundles. Not quite. And I need to get another tray to cook the bundles in. So let's go ahead and get that. And I set the oven at 350 because you'll have all this done ahead of time. And then at the last minute, for about the last 10 minutes, you can pop it in the oven and then have the dish ready. So all of this can be done in the early afternoon, you know, and then refrigerate everything, have it fresh in the refrigerator, ready to go. These are going. My sauce is cooking. I want it to reduce just a little bit, not a whole lot, you'll see, but it just takes a few minutes to kind of reduce it down. I think we'll put on, add a little bit extra oil if you need it. These cook a little bit fast. So after they've browned on both sides, then you'll put them on your baking tray. And that, at this point, you can wrap it in foil, put it in the refrigerator until you're ready to serve. So I went ahead and I've got some chicken ready to go. So these have been cooking for probably about 15 minutes. You see how they're all kind of juicy. You see how the stuffing, it's okay, the stuffing's oozing out a little bit. And then the way I like to serve this is very simply, I usually serve, let me just switch. I usually serve this with a rice and cilantro pilaf. And I just take cooked rice, I just make the rice as I would normally do it. And then at the last minute, probably like the last 5 minutes of cooking it, I add just chopped fresh cilantro. So it just gets a nice green color. And then I usually just put it around. If I were serving a huge platter of this, I'd have the cilantro rice first. So it just looks like it's kind of swimming in the cilantro rice. And then on top of that, we add the, oh, it's perfect. We add the cilantro cream, our cream sauce, and see how it's got a nice, like a salmon-y color, kind of a, ooh, beautiful. And then you just dish that over. I prefer a spoon. You just pour it over the bundles. I always have extra because I'll always need extra. And then I usually have extra, oh gosh, I love the sauce. I'm going to pour it everywhere. Okay. Can't have too much sauce.